Multiple Minnesota Vikings updates have dropped moments ago as Kevin O'Connell had his Week 1 press conference, giving updates on the injury side of things from Harrison Smith as well as Christian Darrisaw and what the plan is for not just Week 1, but them going forward. We're going to be breaking that down as well as going over an absolutely wild stuff that just came out from JJ McCarthy and his preparation for this week's game against the Chicago Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, you will not want to miss what we have to bring you here today. Before we do jump into this video, though, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. Your guys' support has literally been absolutely insane as of late. Me and Griffin incredibly appreciate you guys. If you're looking for a spot for your Minnesota Vikings news, be sure to join the channel. We have a lot of stuff coming with the season. For us, now only days away, and the NFL season starting tomorrow. So be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. But let's jump straight into this video because obviously starting out with the press conference today from Kevin O'Connell, we got a lot of good updates regarding what's going on with the team, the injury side of things, as well as how our outlook is for Week 1 versus the Chicago Bears. So heading into this, of course, firstly, Alec Lewis gave this update regarding Harrison Smith. Kevin O'Connell said that everyone participated in walkthroughs today, but Harrison Smith will not practice. They're hopeful he'll build up through the remainder of the week. So taking a look at this now, he is not being counted out for Week 1 on Monday. I think we definitely got a pretty lucky draw there on the schedule that we had that extra day for Harrison Smith to get in, and this is a personal injury. We do not know what it is. I doubt we'll probably know what it is unless Harrison Smith himself comes out and says it, but this is what we know right now, at least, that he will not participate and did not participate in a practice today, but is drawing closer and hopefully build up through the remainder of the week. So, I mean, with his absence, if he were to miss Week 1, we're not so bad here in the clear. And of course, Josh Metellus right now is listed as strong safety and Harrison Smith listed as free safety. Theo Jackson can easily jump in there, as well as Jay Ward, whichever wants to happen. No matter what, I mean, they're not going to live up to Harrison Smith, but it's a very good replacement for the time being, if a possibility, especially Theo Jackson, who is going to have a very good season this year, alongside Josh Metellus and Harrison Smith, really being the three safeties that are going to be in more game action than most. So that's an update on Harrison Smith. Not overly bad, but obviously not as good as we'd like to see yet. Not yet in here. Now, Christian Darrisaw is the other one that has spoken about today, and of course, he's coming off a torn ACL and MCL. I'm sure all you guys know that, however, but we are getting a pretty big update regarding him and his status for Week 1, and this one here comes from Kevin Seifert saying, Vikings left tackle Christian Darrisaw recovering from the torn ACL and MCL, checked all the boxes during training camp, Kevin O'Connell said. He's yet to committing publicly to Darrisaw playing in Week 1. The team will give him every opportunity to practice and see how he feels. That's coming from Kevin O'Connell once again, which we've seen and we've heard Kevin O'Connell vocalize that he's not rushing him back into playing. Of course, Week 1 against the Bears, definitely a very important game, especially a divisional matchup. But when you're coming into this season, it's much more important to have Darrisaw for 16 other games and miss one rather than play one and miss potentially another 6 or 7. And we know that's the more important thing here at the end of the day, but Christian Darrisaw is progressing well from what we've been seeing, and as we saw here from Kevin O'Connell, not committing publicly that he will be here for Week 1 and be ready to go. But Alec Lewis put this out as well on the topic of Darrisaw. Kevin O'Connell said he's going to get a lot of reps in today at practice. They're going to take a big picture mindset like they usually do with guys coming off serious injuries. But O'Connell said Christian Darrisaw has looked great, which is obviously a good sign, but you're never actually going 110% in practice like you are in games, especially that Christian Darrisaw coming off such a nasty injury. You're going to be a bit hesitant to push yourself, even though we know Christian Darrisaw will get that done and will ultimately get back to that level. But in practice, that is always in the back of your mind that you don't want to push too far just in case things like this may, reappear, even though, one of the best, if not the best medical team in the football, and also just coming into, having such a long recovery time. Even though it is a long recovery, things are looking good. And of course, Alec Lewis coming out with this. And the bigger mindset is, of course, the big question here. Now, one more thing from Kevin Seifert. And Kevin O'Connell has mentioned several times that he needs to be smart when it comes to getting Darrisaw back on the field. He'll take most of, if not all, reps in practice today, but the decision is not based on Week 1. So this is kind of just adding to what Alec Lewis put out there the other day. In the last one from here today and over the past few days from what we've been seeing. This is not necessarily a Week 1 decision. This is a time to get him back activated, get him back going, and although he may look very good right now, he definitely is going to be a very important piece of this team. It's going to be back sooner rather than later. But you don't want to rush anything just because it is week 1. And as I mentioned, you don't want to put a guy in for one game and have him miss the remainder. You'd rather have him miss one and be able to stay in the remainder with certainty. So I'm sure they're taking every kind of look at this coming into the season and how everything's going to be looking towards the offensive line, especially now a new revamped one. We want to see it, but we can't go ahead and rush someone off an injury like this. So let me know what you think about these 2 injury updates that we do have here today, both coming from Kevin O'Connell in today's press conference. And that's a lot of what was really posed in today's questions from Kevin O'Connell. Now, going into this upcoming game on Monday versus the Bears, we are getting a lot of good looks from not just the team, but also J.J. McCarthy as well, who is set to make his NFL regular season debut against the Bears. And this is going to be a big matchup for him. And he is not taking it lightly. This came out from Fox Sports, saying it's even about putting aside the notes he's taken on Bears defensive coordinator Dennis Allen on his iPad. McCarthy will have copious color-coded bullet points on Allen's situational work, his personnel tendencies, his schematic history, his philosophy, his employer history, and more. So this is a very good look from J.J. McCarthy heading into tonight's, Monday's game and heading into the start of the season tomorrow, officially with the first game of the season going on then. But this is a very good start to what we're seeing with J.J. McCarthy. And we've known this was happening, but having this come out, we saw this from multiple different outlets kind of be reposted and whatnot. And the amount of surprised people that J.J. McCarthy was doing this was absolutely incredible. And I think that people are really starting to finally realize how important J.J. McCarthy is to this team and how seriously he's taking this, not just game, but, this season so far. Even last year when he was hurt, he was around the team later half of the season, getting to know and getting to learn and, getting familiarize himself with his teammates. And now going into this, we're going to be looking at a J.J. McCarthy who's going to be a lot smarter than a lot of rookies coming into the NFL. I mean, just taking a look at what we're currently looking at from the Bears defense, their defense has gotten a lot better over the past few seasons. And I mean, just taking a look at this up and down, whether or not you're actually, looking at who were Bears before and whatnot, you're seeing a lot of names who have joined this team as of late over the past couple seasons. And, you remember who these players are. You know who these players are. And I mean, I'm not going to go read them all out, but they have a lot of superstars that have been, are now, are coming up, and it's going to be a very tough matchup no matter what. This is going to be a tough NFC North, but the fact that J.J. McCarthy is doing this for his first game against the Bears, a team that, a lot of people are saying will be either us or the Bears in 3 or 4 in the NFC North. I think it's genuinely crazy still, but he's doing this. He's taking this seriously, and this is a big thing coming into week 1, so I want to know what you guys think about that as well coming out of this from J.J. McCarthy and his preparation on this. And I mean, people are still saying, we're not going to see J.J. McCarthy be the guy we all thought he could be. I'm not listening to that. We're not listening to that. We know that J.J. McCarthy is going to be a legit number 1 quarterback, and I'm ready to see it, and I finally cannot wait for him to, shut up the doubters heading in onto Monday's game. So let me know what you think about all of that here in the comments below. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. Be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already, and you're going for your Vikings, looking for your news. We're going to have it all right here. Like I said, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.